Hi, I'm Amy, thank you for tuning in. This month I have got another spooky haul of things that I've been buying. I think I buy spooky things all year round, but especially at Halloween there just seems to be so much good stuff to get. So I've stocked up and hopefully I won't spend too much money in the run up to Christmas on spooky things. So the things I'm going to show you in this video, some of them have been kindly gifted to me, some are early birthday presents and some I have bought myself. I also have a giveaway. I accidentally ordered duplicate copies of 3 books, so if you keep watching I'll tell you what the books are and then tell you later in the video how you can win them. So first I'm going to show you some spooky clothes and merchandise that I've picked up this month. And first, I think it's one of my favourite things I've hauled, in case you don't know, a trick or treat backpack. This Loungefly one is super cute. I don't know whether these are newly out. I haven't seen it before, but I just really love this little Sam one, so that's an early birthday present from my mum. Next up, we have a few other things that my mum got for my birthday. We have, I'm not sure exactly where she got them from, but we have spooky cardigan, Beetlejuice style jacket, Buffy t-shirt. I think this one was from Truffle Shuffle because I ordered this myself. I like the kind of vintage style of that one. We have another spooky jumper. And this one is actually from when I went to Disney Paris, so I'll show you the Disney Paris stuff next. I bought lots of Disney Cars things for my little boy, and then for myself I got Nightmare Before Christmas t-shirt. I love the pocket on this one and the design on the back and the whole colour palette of it. Next I got a spooky hat. I've somehow got into hats recently. I think I'll carry on wearing this one. And I got a Haunted Mansion clock, which is really cool, and I don't know if you can see, but it has 13 numbers on the face just to be haunted and peculiar, so that'll be interesting trying to tell the time with that. Next up I got a jacket. Do you ever buy an item of clothing and feel like it's just 100% you? I'm going to put it on to show you. So this is my new spooky jacket from EMP. I love that it says Stay Spooky on the back and it has all the skull detail. I just really like this one, but it's warm, so I'm going to take it off. Next to the books. I did go a little bit wild this month. I was gifted quite a few and some were pre-orders that I'd forgotten about. So yeah, I'm excited to show you what I have got. First it was a pre-order, and this is the Lurking in the Dark anthology. It's written by horror tubers, it's by adults, and the money goes, all the proceeds go to the Literacy First charity, which is really exciting, and it features my short story about werewolves, which is called Bad Moon Rising. I see bad moon rising. So I'm excited to read the other stories. I'm going to put it on my TBR for this month, and I'm just excited for people to read mine as well. My first go at writing an adult short story. Next, I don't really know how I ended up with this one. You know, sometimes you see a book on somebody else's TBR or something and it just piques your interest, so I'm going to just get a second-hand copy of this one, the Supernatural Enhancements. Don't know much about it, but at the back it says, when Ambrose Wells dies jumping out of his bedroom window in Axton House, forgetting to open it first, a distant relative with an unusual companion takes possession of the Gothic estate at Point Bless, Virginia. But as they settle into their new surroundings, excited by rumours of ghosts, suicides and secret societies, they find themselves not just part of a mysterious game, but determined to win it. Well, that sounds awesome. I can see why I would have picked that one up. This one was a pre-order, and I think it might have one of the prettiest designs of any books I've got recently. Just look at their stenciled edges. I did read an early copy of this on ebook, so it's lovely to have the physical one. I absolutely loved it. It's perfect for spooky season. It has very autumnal vibes, and it sort of reminds me of Heartstopper with that kind of spooky touches, or something like a kind of Gilmore Girls. It's just a really nice read, but it does deal with some kind of difficult subjects as well, like loss, really well. So yeah, this was one that I really enjoyed. This one, I didn't have a physical copy, but I've been trying to collect them in paperback and it's finally out. I really love the Fright Watch series by Lauren Lawrence. They're kind of spooky middle grade books. They're perfect for fans of Goosebumps and that kind of younger point horror feel, maybe not some of the darker point horrors. But yeah, I really like these ones, so I'm happy to collect the physical copies as they come out in paperback. So the next book I had also read an early copy of, but I got the physical copy, and that is Big Bad Me by Ashlyn O'Loughlin. I have interviewed Ashlyn on my channel, I'll link it in the description. I really love this one because it has that kind of Buffy feel, with the found family and real family in it, with werewolves, vampires, a really good plot, great characters, so I'm excited to read this one again when enough time's passed that I've kind of forgotten about it and it feels fresh. Next, I ended up with 2 copies of this book, one I pre-ordered and one from the publisher, so I will add one of them to the giveaway, and that is 16 Souls by Rosie Talbot. I pre-ordered this Waterstones special edition, and then the publisher kindly sent me this copy. Thank you, Scholastic. Again, this was one that I got to read an early copy of, absolutely loved it. It is a story of 2 boys investigating ghostly happenings in York and falling in love. Had to carefully word it there because I don't want to give any spoilers, but I really enjoyed this one. It's great for spooky season, but for any time, being that spooky season is nearly over. Next, another one that just randomly, I've been wanting to try a Max Brooks book for a while. This one I saw somebody talking about, I can't remember who it was. I seem to think it is a dystopian. It says, as the ash and chaos from Mount Rainier's eruption swirled and finally settled, the story of the Green Loop massacre passed unnoticed, unexamined until now. I think Max Brooks tends to write things that are sort of written as if they've happened in real life, like World War Z. So I'm excited to try one of his books. I did enjoy the World War Z film, but I haven't read the book yet. Next up, we have Asylum by Madeleine Roux. This is an author I've been desperate to try. I just saw this one and it was the cover that attracted me. I think I was feeling spooky. I know that she's written lots of other things, but I thought I'd give this one a go first. Next up, this one is for the Literally Dead book club, House of Hunger. I don't know much about it apart from the dripping blood and little things that people have told me. I'm hopeful that it is vampires, or at least some sort of beings that or people that drink blood. So instantly I'm intrigued and excited about reading this one. Next up, we have an anthology, which was one of the pre-orders that I forgot was going to arrive. It is paranormal romance, which is a genre I haven't read that much recently. And it's got stories of authors that I really love, like, I'm just going to read a couple, Kendara Blake, Sarah Gailey, Casey McQuestion, Anne-Marie McLemore is a favourite. So I'm really excited about giving this one a go. Next, we have another random order, The Lost Village. This one came up on somebody's TBR for October and I thought it sounded really spooky. It's described as a Blair Witch meets Midsummer, which I think is what sold it to me. Next, we have Camp Slaughter, probably one of the books that I've seen the most on people's TBRs for October, and I was jealous and decided that I needed to read it too. It says, this deep in the woods, danger can be lurking anywhere. It's local legend. No one is sure if this Camp Slaughter place is real or not, but a group of college kids renting out a cabin deep in the woods of Pennsylvania soon realise the truth. They'll realise the danger too. Or rather, the cannibal out in the woods will bring the danger to them. Didn't know that this was a cannibal story, so that will be interesting. Next up, I have a pile of books that were very kindly gifted to me by Roxy. I will link in the description to her account. She's Tattoos, Clues and Book Reviews on Instagram. And she was talking about Nancy Drew books, and I said that I've been planning to rebuild my Nancy Drew collection, and she kindly sent me her duplicate copies, so look at those. I think they're all kinds of different editions. I love the fact that there's some more vintage looking ones. These look like the ones that I had back in the day, so I'm going to try and put these in some kind of order and start reading them, maybe tackle one a month next year or something. So I'll show you all the covers. I'm really feeling nostalgic about books at the moment and trying to rebuild the things that I used to have. I really wish I'd just kept them back in the day. So if you're younger and watching this and thinking I might not keep this book series, just reconsider, because you'll end up like me trying to buy them all again in the future. A few more. Some of these look really familiar, the covers that I've seen. Some of them don't, so it'll be lovely to start. Oh, I definitely have some of these sorts of editions. The next stack is a charity shop haul, which kindly my husband went shopping at the charity shop yesterday, and he always sends me WhatsApps of books that he's found that he thinks I like. This one is an anthology of Suki Stackhouse stories. I'm not sure if I have it already, but I love the cover so much that I thought it wouldn't hurt to have 2 copies. And then this is a series I've been trying to rebuy, vampire series that I read in the past. These I think I only had on probably my very first Kindle, by Alexandra Harvey, My Love Lies Bleeding, Bleeding Hearts, Blood Feud and Out for Blood. I don't think this is quite the full series, but it's a good start. They're in great condition and they were really cheap, so that was a really good find. And then this one I know nothing about, apart from I think my husband saw that it said Buffy pleasingly crossed with Bridget Jones. I mean, how could you resist that? I love both those things. I read Bridget Jones for a long while, but Buffy certainly is one of those books that I just instantly, if I see one of those series, is that if I see something compared to Buffy, I have to read it. Next, we have something else that Roxy sent me, and The Silent Scream. She'd got an extra copy of this, and I've just started rebuying the Nightmare Hall books, so it'll be lovely to add this to my collection. Next, my friend Lauren sent me some spare copies, and this one is signed. I didn't even realise. Thank you, Lauren. Her Dark Wings. I love Melinda Salisbury's books. I haven't managed to read this one yet, so it'll be great to pick this up soon. And we have The Weight of Blood, which I've heard only brilliant things about. I think this is the proof copy that Lauren didn't need anymore, so I'm really looking forward to giving this a go. It's by Tiffany D. Jackson, and it says it was tradition that the outgoing seniors of Springville High converged into a caravan downtown on the way to their respective dances. The townspeople would line the Main Street parade route in lawn chairs to catch glimpses of the partygoers in their fine gowns and tuxedos. No one knew it'd be the last time that most of them would be seen alive. I'm getting Carrie vibes. I don't know whether it's the cover that's also making me think that. Don't know much about this one, but I'm excited to give it a go. Next, we have a proof that was sent by the publisher. It is a new publisher called Daphne Press. The Luminaries, I've heard lots about. I seem to think that this was the one that Susan Dennard was writing on Twitter, that she shared bits and let people kind of predict what they thought was going to happen in the story. I love this proof cover. The design of the finished cover looks gorgeous as well. So I'm very excited about this one. It is a fantasy. I don't know much else about it, and I think I'm going to go into this one unknowing because it was my first Susan Dennard book, so I want to kind of go into it fresh. So now, oh, one more thing. This is one of the picks of Point Horror Book Club. Quite often, Shelley gives us two choices and we have to pick, and I always make sure that I've got both, because that way I'm building my collection and I'm ready depending on what the public decides. Next, we have the duplicate book. So as I mentioned, I've got 2 copies of 16 Souls. I also ended up with 2 copies of Pumpkinheads. My mum and I had a slight ordering mishap online. Long story. But I ended up also with 2 copies of The Coldest Touch. Very heavy. And 2 copies of Just Like Home. So I'm going to give one lucky person the chance to win my spare copy of 4 books, Just Like Home, Pumpkinhead, 16 Souls and The Coldest Touch. I'm going to put them down because I can feel them falling. So all you have to do to enter is comment. Please let me know a book that you are excited to read this month. It could be a book that is on my TBR. It could be one of the books that I'm giving away. It could be a book that is on your TBR. Whatever the case, I would just like to hear it, and I will choose from the winner. I will choose a winner from the people who comment on the post. So if you're really not interested, then let me know in the comments, but otherwise I'll assume that a comment is an entry. So that is it. There are so many things that I've ordered this month and that have been sent to me. I feel really lucky and really excited to get to them all, the clothes and the books that I'll get to read. Thank you for tuning in. As I mentioned, please think about entering the giveaway. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I've got lots of spooky content still lined up, even though we're coming out of spooky season. I've got some fun spooky interviews, and I'll also be sharing a little bit more about my Disneyland Paris trip on various forms of my social media, so you can check that out too. Thank you for watching. Bye!